Okay. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this call. I recently discovered that a lot of people are experiencing blocks to their prosperity through feelings like resentment and feeling unsupported and betrayal and feeling that people are trying to separate them from their money and being scammed and so forth. And I wanted to address that because what prompted me is that a really, really good friend of mine in June told me about a business opportunity, and I've been telling other people about it, and I'm finding it very, very interesting because people who are broke are in high resistance to it, telling me that it's a scam and telling, really, really fearful thoughts are coming up. And the only reason that I trust this thing that has been presented to me is because the guy who told me about it makes $40,000 a month while he's doing anything that he wants. Basically, I tell people that he makes $40,000 a month while he's fishing. And I realize that, first of all, fishing is the thing that he loves to do. And then he works his businesses, when he wants to. And through this thing that I became involved with, I noticed that people who are really, really, where money's really tight and where there's a lot of fear there with regards to, trying to cling to whatever we've got, there's people are saying it's a scam. You're trying to take money away from me. This is a joke. And, you can find anything on the internet. So they'll look things up on the internet and they'll throw it in my face and tell me what a liar I am and what a scam it is and all of that. And then the people who are a little bit more relaxed about money, where they've got a little bit of money to work with, where it doesn't really matter if they lose $100 or whatever, then those people are putting like $100 into this opportunity. And then the people who are putting the most in are the most successful people that I know. So, for example, my friend has put in probably, I don't know, thousands of dollars into this thing. And other businessmen are like really excited to put as much money into it as they can because they see the growth opportunity there. So I've been looking at this from sort of an observer viewpoint in noticing that it's almost like the less people have and the more that they could really, really use this thing, the more resistant they are. And if anybody wants to know about what this is being recorded, and I'm actually going to be sharing it with my team. So if you're watching the YouTube video, go to the person who brought you to this call to find out what that business opportunity is all about, and they can explain it to you and they can tell it to you. But really, this call is to help people get into that alignment because there are so many people that could use more money, and I'm just seeing where they're like every single thing that they can do, they're blocking it, and even people like myself, like really high spiritually minded people who are really into personal development and are trying to be open to abundance, are really rejecting it. I've actually gifted some people an account with this, and I've given them money, and they've been really they want out. They don't want any part of it. And it's just a very, very interesting dynamic. And it's all about alignment. It is all about alignment. And that's what I'm starting to learn through all of this, that it doesn't matter how much you want to help somebody and how much they want to help themselves. If you're not in alignment, you're blocking it. You're literally blocking that abundance from coming in. So that's why I'm doing this call. And for those of you who are not aware of what a consciousness alignment is, it's a special gift that I've discovered that I have a few years ago. And what happened was I was in a situation where I had all of these sort of controlling elements in my life as they related to money. And it was mainly men who were just kind of controlling me with money. And I had a couple different sources where income was coming in. And ironically, there was one woman who I was doing, and I didn't have a job. I was, working on my own, and I was able to support myself on my own, but I was having to go through these, it was like a battle dealing with my own demons, the stuff that I hadn't yet addressed. And I realized I saw this pattern. I even saw it going back to my childhood and through my marriage and all these other things. And I was like, oh, that's what that's all about. So I recognized it, and I put out a prayer request to Unity Village, and I said, I see what this is, and I want it gone. I see this controlling element around money, and that it has to be really hard, and that, I have to be controlled by like a male-dominant whatever energy, and I want that gone. So immediately, 90% of my income fell off. And I also ran into, like, I was, while I put in that request, I was searching the internet for something. And I came across a woman who does work that's very similar to what I now do, but it's, everybody does things differently. It's kind of like we all do the same thing, but we all have our different taste to it. And what happened was, I listened to one of her audios, which is what you're going to listen to right now. And it was a recording. And if you listen to this recording later, it'll be the same thing. You'll experience that, this or something better, because as you listen to a consciousness alignment, more and more gets released. So what happened was I listened to her audio, and almost magically, my fear and my apprehension and all of that anxiety just went away. And I was really in a state of deep peace and gratitude for my life and as I was experiencing it. And I knew that something better was coming, because since 90% of my income just fell right away, I knew that God, divine consciousness, whatever you want to call it, could bring it in just as easily. So about 2.5 weeks later, I spoke to a gentleman, because I was doing my World Awaken Talk radio at the time. I spoke to a gentleman who was going to be one of my guests, and he asked me if I knew anybody else who was like the woman who I still had that contract with. And I was like, oh yeah, I know hundreds of people like her. Those are my people. And he said, well, if you can, introduce me to people, that are doing that kind of thing, I will pay you $500 a pop. So I just got right on it, and I was like, I had him lined up for like 10 interviews a week, and I was doing really, really well. And then that kind of shifted a little bit, and I saw how I was, I started to develop this gift, because I really wanted the opportunity to develop that gift. So I started I was praying, and it came to me that I, and you, the listener, this is part of you too, that I was, that all of divine intelligence, all of the universe is experienced through my perceptual point of view, not all of it. So for example, the person listening to this call can't necessarily know what I am feeling through my perceptual point of view. However, God, divine consciousness, the universe experiences it experiences itself through your awareness. So your awareness is divine awareness. Your awareness is God. What you see, taste, feel, touch, desire, all the inspiration is God experiencing itself through your perceptual point of view. And as that, you can then command the universe to do what you want. And we're taught this through our world religions, but we just don't necessarily understand it, because I think, we don't, even some of our world, like religious leaders, I don't think quite necessarily get it all the time, because they're taught, and it's kind of a personal experience that you need to experience. But what I'm going to do here today is nothing that you cannot do for yourself. And what this consciousness alignment will do, what happens when a consciousness alignment is being given, is that all you need to do is be open and receptive to receiving. So just say to yourself, yes, 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 as I'm speaking. And then you will notice that things fall away. And what I wanted to focus on today, since I've been noticing all of these, different things that people are showing me, is I really, really want to focus on, like, the resentment, as I said before, the resentment, the betrayal, the feeling unsupported, the feeling that people are trying to separate you from your money, and never having enough money. And then if people have questions that they want at the end, we can certainly address that. I do need to be off of the line by the hour, by the time the hour is up. So in order to experience this, just relax and say to yourself yes as you're hearing it, to let it in, and you don't have to do anything else. But you do need to pay attention to what I'm saying. So don't do dishes while I'm talking, and don't be cleaning your living room or anything like that. Really pay attention to the words, because that's what allows it to happen in your life. So again, this will be on YouTube later, and if you don't know where that is, just find Kerri Kannan, KerriKannan, and if you type in consciousness alignment, you'll find this and other things on YouTube. So pretty easy to find. So here we go. Thank you, divine consciousness that is the awareness and experiences itself in, through, and as the person listening to my voice now. Thank you for aligning yourself through this person who is listening now to remove the fear of not having enough money from their consciousness now, and imprint them with a new consciousness that facilitates joy, happiness, and fulfillment in the experience of this person now. Anything in the way of that realization, delete, uncreate, and transmute now across all time, space, dimension, and reality, in the physical body and the etheric body, every level of consciousness, every strand of DNA, every vibrating molecule, and every spinning atom, in every parallel universe, going down their mother's side of the family and their father's side of the family, removing this genetic imprint from them now, and going back 1,000 generations. Thank you for rewiring this person's neural pathways and neuroreceptors so that they no longer experience the fear of not having enough money, now and forevermore, through this person's life here on planet Earth. Thank you for removing the genetic imprint of the fear of not having enough money from this person's genetic imprint through all of their future generations, moving forward now and forevermore, healing the fear of not having enough money from their family lineage, now and forevermore, in every strand of DNA, every vibrating molecule, and every spinning atom. Thank you for opening all of the doors and windows of this person's consciousness now, and imprinting them with a new consciousness that welcomes and facilitates joy, happiness, and fulfillment. Thank you for already imprinting this person with a new consciousness where they no longer experience fear of not having enough money, and replace it with something even better. Your will be done. Your will be done. Your desire is their desire. Thank you, it is already done. Thank you, it is already done. Thank you, it is already done. It is already done now. It is already done now. It is already done. Thank you, it is already done. Okay, so now I'm going to unmute. So if anybody had any feedback, then if you felt anything, and we're going to go through a bunch of others too, but I just figured I'd stop in between and see if there are any questions or if anybody felt anything, and then we can move on. Nobody? Okay. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next one then. Okay, so now, and while I'm doing this, you may feel different things. So I should have mentioned this in the beginning. Please don't be driving either while we're doing this, and you can listen to it later on YouTube, like I said. And it may take me a few days, and you'll notice over the next few days that your energy will shift. It won't be like like a cosmic 2x4 hitting you over the head and saying, okay, everything is different, because the universe loves to experience itself in micro detail. But you will notice a shift. You'll notice something is different, and that maybe experiences that you were not open to before are now sort of popping into your life. And that's kind of how it works. And again, the universe likes to experience itself in micro detail so it can kind of savor every little bite. But you will notice that things will start shifting. So now we're going to go to feeling unsupported, okay? So here we go. Thank you, divine consciousness that lives in, through, and as the awareness and experiences itself in, through, and as the person hearing my voice now. Thank you for aligning yourself through this person who is listening now to remove any feelings of being unsupported from their consciousness, and to imprint them with a new consciousness that facilitates joy, happiness, and fulfillment in the experience of this person now. Anything in the way of this realization, delete, uncreate, and transmute across all time, space, dimension, and reality, in the physical body and the etheric body, in every level of consciousness, every strand of DNA, every vibrating molecule, and every spinning atom, in every parallel universe, going down the mother's side of the family and their father's side of the family, going back 1,000 generations. Thank you for rewiring their neural pathways and neuroreceptors so that they no longer experience feelings of being unsupported, now and forevermore, through this person's life here on planet Earth. Thank you for removing the genetic imprint of feeling unsupported from this person's genetic imprint through all future generations, moving forward, now and forevermore, healing the feeling of being unsupported from their family lineage, now and forevermore. Thank you for opening all of the doors and windows of this person's consciousness now and imprinting them with a new consciousness that welcomes and facilitates joy, happiness, and fulfillment. Thank you for already imprinting this person with a new consciousness where they no longer experience the feeling of being unsupported and replace that with something even better. Your will be done. Your will be done. Thank you, because your will is their greatest desire. So thank you. Your will be done. Thank you. It is already done. It is already done. It is already done now. It is already done now. It is already done now. Thank you. It is already done now. Okay, I'm going to unmute again. If you want, you can take a deep breath after each of these as well, because it kind of allows it to soak in a little bit, and I forgot to say that in the last one. So just take a deep breath right now and let it all out. And that allows it to soak in a little bit, to kind of go in there a little bit more. After that one, did anybody have any comments or questions or anything that they wanted to share? And I'll open this up at the end of the call as well, so you can wait then if you want.
I just wanted to say I feel a lot lighter. I can feel it's definitely having an effect. So thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome. You have this power. You have this gift yourself. Most of us just don't believe it. And, it takes a little bit of work.
That's great to know.
Was there something else, or was that from... Okay, we're going to go on to the next one. So that was unsupported. The first one was fear of not having enough money. And we're going to go on to resentment. Okay, so I'm going to mute everybody again. Thank you, God. Divine consciousness that lives in, through, and as the person that hears my voice now. Thank you for the awareness that they have and the awareness that experiences life itself as you experience yourself through this perceptual point of view that is hearing my voice now. Thank you for aligning yourself through this person who is listening now to remove any feeling of resentment that they have towards themselves, towards others, and towards God. Thank you, especially feelings they see it within their lives through their reflection. So if there is any resentment as it relates to money in their lives, thank you for removing that from this person's consciousness now. And thank you for imprinting this person with a new consciousness that facilitates joy, happiness, and fulfillment in their experience now. Anything in the way of that realization, delete, uncreate, and transmute now across all time, space, dimension, and reality, in the physical body and the etheric body, every level of consciousness, every strand of DNA, every vibrating molecule, and every spinning atom, in every parallel universe, going down their mother's side of the family and their father's side of the family, going back 1,000 generations. Thank you for rewiring their neural pathways and neuroreceptors so that this person no longer experiences feelings of resentment. So thank you. It is already done. It is already done now and forevermore through this person's life here on planet Earth. Thank you for removing the genetic imprint of resentment that this person has inherited from their mother's side of the family and their father's side of the family. And thank you for removing it through all future generations, moving forward now and forevermore, healing the feelings of resentment as it relates to money from this person's family, from this person's consciousness now and their family lineage, and imprinting them with a new consciousness that welcomes and facilitates joy, happiness, and fulfillment. Thank you for already imprinting this person with a new consciousness where they no longer experience feelings of resentment and replace it with something even better. Your will be done. Your will be done. Your greatest desire for them is their greatest desire for themselves. So thank you. It is already done. It is already done. It is already done now. It is already done now. It is already done now. Thank you. It is already done now. Okay, I'm going to unmute it one more time. Oh, take a deep breath and push it all out. And take another deep breath and push it all out. And I'm writing that down so I don't forget. Okay, everybody is unmuted again, so if anybody had something that they wanted to say or ask. Okay, we've got two more. I'm going to do one for betrayal and one for thinking that people are trying to extract you from your money, like scams and things like that. So I'm going to mute it again. Okay, so let's see, betrayal. Okay, ready? Here we go. Thank you, God, divine consciousness that lives in, through, and as the person listening to my voice now, and is the awareness that experiences itself through and as all that is, was, and ever will be. Thank you for aligning yourself through this person who is listening to this now to remove any feelings of betrayal that they may have in their consciousness and imprint them with a new consciousness that facilitates joy, happiness, and fulfillment in the experience of this person now. Anything in the way of that realization, delete, uncreate, and transmute across all time, space, dimension, and reality in the physical body and the etheric body, every level of consciousness, every strand of DNA, every vibrating molecule, and every spinning atom in every parallel universe, going down the mother's side of the family and the father's side of the family, going back 1,000 generations. Thank you for rewiring this person's neural pathways and neuroreceptors so that they no longer experience a sense of betrayal in their lives, now and forevermore, through this person's life here on planet Earth. Thank you for removing the genetic imprint of betrayal as it relates to finances from this person's genetic imprint through all future generations moving forward now and forevermore, healing this person and their future lineage now and forevermore. Thank you for opening all of the doors and windows of this person's consciousness now and imprinting them with a new consciousness that welcomes and facilitates joy and happiness and fulfillment. Thank you for already imprinting this person with a new consciousness where they no longer experience betrayal and replace it with something even better. Your will be done. Your will be done. Thank you. It is already done. It is already done. It is already done now. It is already done now. It is already done now. Thank you. It is already done. Okay, take a deep breath and push it all out. Take another deep breath and push it all out. And I'm just going to go right into the last one, and then I will open up the call for anybody who has anything that they would like for me to work on for them, because we'll have time. So, all right, so the next one is going to be feelings around being scammed and being, that people want to take your money away from you, because that's all within our, it's all us. If you have those feelings, it's all within you, because you're trying to hold on as much as you can. And the universe operates in such a way that as you give, you receive. So as you give, you receive more, because you're demonstrating to the universe that, yes, I have enough. I have enough. And, as you do, then you receive. So here we go. Thank you, divine consciousness that is the awareness that experiences itself in, through, and as the person listening to my voice. And thank you for aligning yourself through this person who is listening now to remove any sense that people are trying to scam them or take their money away from them now. Thank you for removing this from their consciousness and imprinting them with a new consciousness that facilitates joy, happiness, and fulfillment in the experience of this person now. Anything in the way of that realization, delete, uncreate, and transmute across all time, space, dimension, and reality in the physical body and the etheric body, in every level of consciousness, every strand of DNA, every vibrating molecule, and every spinning atom in every parallel universe, going down the mother's side of the family and the father's side of the family, going back 1,000 generations. Thank you for rewiring this person's neural pathways and neuroreceptors so that they no longer experience a sense of people trying to take their money away from them or scam them. Now and forevermore, through this person's life here on planet Earth, thank you for removing the genetic imprint of feeling that they're being scammed and that people are trying to take their money away from them, from this person's genetic imprint through all future generations, moving forward now and forevermore, healing the feeling that people are trying to take their money away from them and scam them from their family lineage now and forevermore. Thank you for opening all of the doors and windows of this person's consciousness now and imprinting them with a new consciousness that welcomes and facilitates joy, happiness, and fulfillment. Thank you for already imprinting this person with a new consciousness where they no longer experience the feeling of being scammed, and they know that the universe is lining up to support them, and replace that with something even better. Thank you. Your will be done. Your will be done. Your will be done. Thank you. It is already done. It is already done. It is already done now. It is already done now. Okay. Take a deep breath. And I'm just going to go on and do a little bit more. And take another deep breath. Okay. Thank you for imprinting this person with a new consciousness that allows them to experience the manifestation of their highest joy, bliss, and fulfillment here on planet Earth that is in alignment with their greatest joy, and that is in alignment with your greatest joy to be brought into this person's awareness and their life now. Thank you for every day in every way now and for the rest of this person's life, aligning them with knowing that the power of the universe lives through and as them, and that they experience joy. The entire universe, as they experience joy, the entire universe experiences that joy as well. Thank you for imprinting and empowering this person to know that God, the divine consciousness of the universe, lives in, through, and as them and experiences everything that they experience as they experience it. Thank you for empowering this person to know peace and to let go of the anxiety that it keeps them from experiencing their divine connection and creation now. So thank you for empowering this person once again to know peace and let go of all anxiety that keeps them from experiencing their divine connection and creation now. Thank you for imprinting this person with the knowledge that what they desire is already theirs. It is already theirs. Anything in the way of that, across all time, space, dimension, and reality, delete, uncreate, and transmute now. Thank you, it is already done. Thank you, it is already done. Thank you, it is already done now and forevermore. Thank you, it is already done now. Thank you, it is already done now. Thank you, it is already done now. Okay, take a deep breath. And let it all out. Okay, so that was the consciousness alignment that I wanted to do for today. Is there anybody who has anything specific that they would like to have me address, or any questions or comments or anything that anybody would like to share?
I do. I would really appreciate some assistance with my husband and I run our own business, and we're just starting to market it now. We've been building a product, and we do have some clients, but we're finding it's just we don't like the marketing side, and it's just to have clients find us and actually want to sign up and use our product. It's a software product, and it's just, we've been doing quite a few demos, but haven't really gotten that extra mile, where people are saying, yes, we want your product and we're going to sign up and pay for it, and we desperately need to just increase our income by a bit more to cover all our expenses.
Okay, so what you're looking for is a channel or something where you can let up on the marketing side a little bit and allow people to find you and be very eager and happy to pay you for what it is that you're offering.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Okay. All right, I'm going to mute. Thank you, divine consciousness that lives, that is the awareness that experiences all that is. Thank you for removing the obstacles in the way of the person hearing my voice to experience fulfillment and joy through their business, so that the right clients can come to them now, so that these clients can find them, and so that they find the right channel, so that this person finds the right channels and opportunities to maximize their reach, so that people can come to them and want to give them money for their offering, for their services, for the opportunity to work with them. So thank you for removing anything that's in the way of that across all time, space, dimension, and reality, going down the mother's side of the family and the father's side of the family that tells them that business needs to be hard. So thank you for removing that from them now and telling them that marketing needs to be hard. Thank you for removing that from their consciousness now. And thank you for replacing that consciousness with a new consciousness that opens all of the doors and the windows of opportunity, so that all of the channels can be open and funnel into this person's life now. All of the people who can use their services so that they joyfully and happily obtain their services and pay for their products, so that they can live a happy, joyful, fulfilling life and do more and more and more of what they love. So thank you for removing anything in the way of that across all time, space, dimension, and reality, down the mother's side of the family and the father's side of the family. And thank you for rewiring their neural pathways and neuroreceptors so that they no longer have this push and pull with their business, so that they can enjoy their business, and their business will now thrive. So their business is now thriving. Easily and effortlessly, and the marketing is falling together so easily and effortlessly. People are lining up to help them with their marketing, to help them. And their marketing is working in ways that they had not even imagined. So thank you. It is already done. Thank you for aligning their entire family lineage down both people who own this business, down their mother's side of the family and their father's side of the family, going back 1,000 generations, so that they know that they can be successful in business. They already are successful in business. So anything in the way of that, delete, uncreate, and transmute across all time, space, dimension, and reality. Anything that is stopping them from, that is in the way, you know what it is. You know what it is that is in the way. So thank you for removing that from this person's consciousness now, across all time, space, dimension, and reality, going back 1,000 generations and moving now, forward, now and forevermore, so that they can experience success and have all of the people funnel into them. So anything in the way of that, delete, uncreate, and transmute now across all time, space, dimension, and reality, across all parallel universes now. So thank you for opening the doors and windows of their consciousness to be open and receptive and to generously give of themselves, because it gives them joy to give as they receive. So thank you for removing anything in the way of their reception, for you know what it is. You know what it is. So thank you for opening all of the doors and windows of this person's consciousness now and imprinting them with a new consciousness that welcomes and facilitates joy, happiness, success, and fulfillment. Thank you for already imprinting this person with a new consciousness where they no longer experience this struggle, and replace it with something even better. Your will be done, because this is your joy, this is your will, this is your desire to see this thing succeed and for it to be fabulously successful. So thank you. It is already done. It is already done. It is already done now. It is already done now. It is already done now. Thank you. It is already done now. Okay, take a deep breath. And let it all out. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
It is. I'm feeling a lot more peaceful. So thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Good. And you can listen again once I post it on YouTube. It may take me a couple days, but is there anybody else who has something to listen?
I do.
Okay.
Darren, hi.
Hi.
One of the things I was going to ask, you kind of touched on part of it in that last one, so thank you, and thanks to the last person who requested that. It's similar to that in that I want to know how to break the feast or famine cycle with the clients, and how, as a freelancer, and sometimes you have work and sometimes you don't, and like if my lowest low could be at least, a decent, all my needs met thing that I could feel more, that I could count on and rely on better. I expect there to be a roller coaster. I just want the lows not to be so low. I want some kind of consistency, at least with the lowest low, so that at least my basic needs are met consistently. Okay. And the other thing related to that, it was basically that feast and famine thing, and crap. Sorry, Kerri, the last one just went, but it was related to that.
Okay. It might come up anyway when I'm doing it. All right. I'm going to mute it. Thank you, divine consciousness that lives in, through, and as the awareness that is experiencing this recording or this call now. Thank you for breaking the cycles of feast or famine. Thank you for imprinting the person listening to this with a new consciousness where there is no more cycle of feast or famine, where the famine is not actual famine. Thank you for creating an awareness and an experience within this person's life where there's no more famine, where it might be low, but there's no more famine. So thank you for releasing that from this person's consciousness and their awareness across all time, space, dimension, and reality, down their mother's side of the family and their father's side of the family, going back 1,000 generations to all of the times of famine. Thank you for removing that from this person's genetic lineage. Thank you for removing that from every strand of this person's DNA, going back 1,000 generations. So all of the genetic imprint going back 1,000 generations. Thank you for removing that feast or famine, especially the famine feeling. So thank you for removing the famine from this person's genetic imprint and making it more of an easy transition where there may be a little bit of struggle, but the famine is no longer there. So thank you for removing that from this person's lineage, from their genetic code, from their genetic lineage now. And thank you for rewiring this person's neural pathways and neuroreceptors to experience higher highs and higher lows. So thank you for removing that from this person's genetic imprint now, and thank you for replacing that across all time, space, dimension, and reality with a new consciousness, a new awareness, where they experience greater and greater success all the time, where everything is getting better and better and better all the time, where every day in every way they are becoming more successful and more peaceful and knowing and trusting themselves more and more and trusting the universe that is them more and more to provide and to support them. So thank you for removing any anxiety that is keeping this person from experiencing higher highs. And thank you for removing the low lows. Thank you for removing that from this person's experience now. Thank you for removing that from this person's experience now across all time, space, dimension, and reality, in every strand of DNA, every vibrating molecule, and every spinning atom. Thank you for releasing this person from that famine cycle. So thank you for releasing that person and healing that famine cycle now across all time, space, dimension, and reality, now and forevermore through the rest of this person's life, and going down their entire family lineage now and forevermore, now and forevermore. And thank you for imprinting this person with a new consciousness where they no longer experience that famine cycle. So thank you. It is already done. It is already done. And thank you for astounding success, fulfilling success that this person experiences, so that they can go out and they can be an example of what can happen, so that their consciousness is now aligned with success. Their consciousness is now aligned with success, so they can be at peace and they can relax and they can know that everything that they desire is already theirs, and they can just know that all they have to do is trust themselves and be at peace, and everything it's waiting on their doorstep. Thank you, it is already done. Thank you, it is already done. Thank you, it is already done now. Thank you, it is already done now. Thank you, it is already done now. And thank you for the happiness, the joy, and the fulfillment that this experience brings into this person's life through their own success, so that they can see, this person can see the success that they are, and that they are connected with the universe, and that they know beyond a doubt, beyond any shadow of doubt, that they are the universe, and their success is the success of the universe, and let them be at peace and let them relax. And the more they're at peace, the more that they see that the bounty of the universe is flowing into their lives now. Now, it is already done now. It is already done now. Now and forevermore through this person's life, down every future generation, all future generations, down their entire family lineage. Thank you, it is already done. Thank you, it is already done. Thank you, it is already done now. Thank you, it is already done now. Thank you, it is already done now. Okay, take a deep breath. And let it all out. Are you feeling a little bit more at peace with that?
I think so, thank you.
You're welcome. And listen again. And if you have any questions, I want to, I have a really super busy schedule these days. I want to do these more. So you can just pop me an email, and it's Kerri@healingcenter.com, Kerri@healingcenter.com. And if you have anything, I can just add it to a list, because I really want to be able to do these more. And I'm trying to make the time for that. I should get try out of there, but I'm making the time. I'm making the time for it this morning, and I wish to continue that. So
thanks for this call, and will you please send us to the list information about the opportunity you were mentioning?
Oh yeah, I'll put that. Where did you hear about? Did you hear about this on Facebook through the email list?
Through the email list, I heard about the call this morning.
Okay. So I will. Yeah, I'll put that opportunity. I'll send it out. I can't do it this morning because I need to be out of here shortly. But I will put that opportunity when I send out the information about the link.
Okay. Thank you.
The YouTube link. You're very, very welcome. Anybody else? Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody so much for being on the call, allowing me the opportunity to do this, because this helps me to hone my skill. And the more you give, the more you receive. And I love doing this. And I too am on the same path as everybody else. I'm looking for ways to be able to do this more and more. And those things are falling into place for me. And it started with learning how to do this and allowing myself to be open and receptive. So I'm hoping to be able to pass that on to everybody else as well. I will include that link. Thank you very much. And it might not be today, but hopefully by the end of the weekend, I will have that out. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and thank you for being on the call. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.